So, for many years, India's defense budget has been stuck in a classic dilemma: guns versus butter. Basically, it means should the money go towards paying salaries and pensions, or should the money go towards buying modern weapons and technology? But the budget 2026 to 27 suggests something important. The government may finally be shifting towards modernization. With defense spending now reaching nearly rupees 8 lakh crores, India seems to be preparing for a rapidly modernizing military, growing geopolitical threats, and a stronger domestic defense industry. So the big question is, why has the government increased capital spending in defense? Let's break it down. So first, let's look at the big numbers. For final year 2026 to 27, the India's total defense allocation was nearly rupees 7.84 lakh crores, which is the highest ever. This makes up about 14.7% of the government's total expenditure. Now, this percentage may look slightly lower than the last year's revised estimate, but the important point is stability. Because just a few years ago, during final year 2021 to final year 2022, the defense spending had dropped to 13% of total expenditure. So, maintaining spending around 14 to 15% means one thing, that national security is being protected by budget cuts. So, for decades, India's defense planners faced a serious issue. Most of the defense budget was being spent on salaries and pensions, instead of fighter jets, submarines, missile systems, and modern technology. But modern warfare is not manpower heavy anymore. It is technology driven. That's why experts say that revenue spending and capital spending should be balanced. And this year's budget shows movement in that direction only. Now, here comes the most important shift. In final year 2027, the capital outlay share has risen to 27.9% of the defense budget. Earlier, it was around 24 to 25%. In absolute terms, capital spending is now rupees 2.19 lakh crores. Last year, it was rupees 1.8 lakh crore. That's an increase of nearly rupees 40,000 crore in just 1 year. This is not a small change. It signals a policy shift towards military modernization. But why now? To understand that, we need to look at three major reasons. Now, the first reason is recent security tensions. This is the first full budget after Operation Sindhu, which was an intense aerial strike that followed the Pahalgam terror attack. Now, that short conflict revealed serious realities. India needs larger stockpiles of precision guided missiles, loitering munitions, advanced drones, long range strike systems, especially if India must prepare for a two front challenge from Pakistan and China. Now, so part of this capital increase is likely for replenishing war reserves and future proofing for military. The second reason is structural. After the Galwan crisis, India introduced emergency procurement powers to buy critical weapons quickly. Now, originally, this was temporary, But now the rising capital spending suggests that fast track defense buying may become permanent because modern threats like anti drone warfares, the cyber systems, and long range missiles cannot wait for slow bureaucracy. Now, the third reason is something most people miss: committed liabilities, which means India must keep paying installments for defense deals signed years ago, like Rafale fighter jets, S 400 missile systems, Akash air defense. These payments consume a large part of the capital budget, leaving little money for new projects. The current increase may finally allow India to sign major future deals like the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft and Project 75I submarines. Now, another big structural change is that the pension share has fallen from 26% to 21.8%. Salary share has dropped from 30% to 22.4%. This could be an early impact of the Agnipath recruitment scheme and deliberate efforts to control revenue spending, which means more money is now free for modern weapons. Finally, the government has reserved 75% of capital procurement for Indian defense manufacturers under Atmanirbhar Bharat. But a key challenge remains: can Indian defense companies deliver on time? Because in modern warfare, delays can cost national security. So, the rise in defense capital spending is not just about bigger numbers, it reflects changing warfare, rising geopolitical threats, push for self reliance, and long term military modernization. And the coming years will decide whether this historic spending truly transforms India's defense powers.